Hello, all of you dieters out there, hCG dieters, those just interested in hCG, those that are just on a diet and want to get more information. My name is Jenny. I am currently on the hCG diet. I've tried many of them. I've done hCG for numerous times. This is round 3. I should say it's round 1 in 2020. But round 3 within the past year, which is more than I typically do it, but I think I'm teaching myself this round to not let myself get in this situation again, because I am finding this round to be more difficult to lose the amount of weight that I normally do at the beginning of it. So we'll see. I'm 10 days in. Today's day 10. I have lost a total of 6.9 pounds, so almost 7 pounds. But yeah, I mean, that's good. On any other diet, that's great. So I got to keep that in perspective. 7 pounds in 10 days is a good amount of weight to lose. Yesterday, I ate mixed vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and not sweet potatoes, squash, butternut squash, in a bag that come in a bag of mixed vegetables. I prepare them simply by microwaving them, and then I add a little bit of salt to them. And I do a 0-calorie butter spray over the top of them. It also makes the salt kind of stick. And then I cooked up 2 pieces of fish. It was not tilapia. Hell, was it halibut? I think it's halibut. And I didn't like it the first time. I thought it was way too fishy, but I ate it anyway. It's because I have a huge bag of it from Costco. And then I started adding a lot of garlic powder and Italian seasonings to it, and it was more palatable. Yesterday, I added a ton of garlic powder and a lot of Italian seasonings, and it was really fishy again. So I think I remember this the last time I got this bag. It depends on which actual piece of fish you are eating as to how fishy it is. So that's interesting. I don't know where the fish's life is or what he does to make him taste fishy or to not taste as fishy, but if you're a halibut, so God bless my husband's soul. He actually bought me a bag of the frozen cod yesterday at Costco. I mentioned to him, I'm like, it's going to be a lot more expensive. And he's like, listen, you don't eat that much food. It's okay. And he was shopping there yesterday when he was waiting for my son, who takes fencing lessons nearby there. So a lot of times he'll go to Costco and hang out. So he got me another bag of vegetables, which made me happy because I've got a third of the bag left, and it is 90% broccoli. And let me tell you, my plates have been about 75% broccoli on all of them. This particular bag was like loaded with broccoli. I have a whole nother bag of just broccoli in my freezer. So, yeah, that wasn't something I needed. But again, my husband said that he would eat the broccoli, so that bless his heart. I'll eat the broccoli, but like it's my least of the favorite of the vegetables. I mean, throw some cheese sauce on it, I'll love it. But okay. Um, so I'm gonna stay on track. I felt really good yesterday. Today was the first day I felt like really kind of energized. I had a bowel movement. Haven't had one of those in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So I was stoked about the scale. I was so happy. Last night I wasn't hungry, but I just thought I'm going to give myself a little treat. I had a tiny little handful of peanuts, which I have been doing basically every day on this diet. So it's been my protein snack. I need to figure something else out that I really enjoy. In the meantime, I love peanuts. So I took a small handful of peanuts. I thought the scale was going to just say amazing things today, and it didn't. That's depressing. I don't really have an explanation why, other than for some reason, this round I am not losing like I used to. I don't know if it's because this is the third time within 12 months that I've done hCG, if that's a possibility, or if it's simply that I'm now in my 50s. I hit 50, and maybe that's the magic number. I used to hear that 40 was the magic number of if you don't lose the weight you need to by the time you're 40, you're never gonna. That's not true. I gained and lost and gained and lost and gained and lost, and I'm still losing. But I lost. The scale said 166, which was a loss of 0.3. So I don't want to complain too much. It was a loss. That makes me much happier. If it was a stall, I would have really been confused. But the fact that I had a bowel movement and I only lost 0.3 kind of means it was a stall because that was just bulk and weight that came off of my body. Too sad. All right, I even had a short sleeve shirt on today. This is a t-shirt underneath here. Sometimes I have a long sleeve shirt. Not that it weighs that much, but anyway, I don't have an explanation for it, but I'm just going to stay on track and keep going and plug away because things are still going in the right direction, even if they're not like phenomenal numbers that I expected. I'm going to talk today about the 3 different kinds of fats. I am going to read this directly off of the protocol that came from Dr. Simeons in the 1960s. I find it interesting. I could try to put it in my own words, but it's not that long. They are 3 short little paragraphs, basically, and then sort of like a little summation. But I find it very interesting. And this is why he this is the research he did on the types of fat we have and how hCG hormone is related to it and how it helps you lose the proper kind of fat as opposed to normal dieting. So here we go. In the human body, we can distinguish 3 kinds of fat. The first is the structural fat, which fills the gaps between our various organs, a sort of packing material, if you will. Okay, I'll supplement a little bit in here. Structural fat also performs such important functions as bedding the kidneys in soft elastic tissue, protecting the coronary arteries, and keeping the skin smooth and taut. It also provides the springy cushion of hard fat that's under the bones for your feet, without which we would be unable to walk. The second kind of fat is normal reserve. The second type of fat is a normal reserve of fuel upon which the body really draw when nutritional income from the intestinal tract is insufficient to meet the demand. Okay, so that basically means this is fat that can be used by the body if there's not enough energy from the intestinal tract. Such normal reserves are localized all over the body. Fat is a substance which packs the highest caloric value into the smallest space, so that normal reserves of fuel for muscular activity and the maintenance of body temperature can be most economically stored in this form. Both these types of fat, structural and reserve, are normal. And even if the body stocks them to capacity, this can never be considered obesity. All right, so these are the fats we need in our body to survive, to function, to protect ourselves. All right, to provide us fuel and energy. All right, but he says there is a third type of fat which is entirely abnormal. It is the accumulation of such fat and such fat only from which the overweight patient suffers. This abnormal fat is also a potential reserve of fuel, but unlike the normal reserves, it is not available to the body as a nutritional emergency. So it doesn't go to it first. Okay. It is, so to speak, locked away in a fixed deposit that is not kept in a current account, as the normal reserves are. When the obese, I'm almost done. We're winding it up right now. When the obese patient tries to reduce itself by starving himself, he will first lose his normal fat reserves. Not all the normal fat, but the reserves of normal fat. When these are exhausted, he begins to burn up the structural fat. And only as a last resort will the body then yield itself to this abnormal reserve. All right. Though by that time, the patient usually feels so weak and hungry that his diet is abandoned. It is just for this reason that obese patients complain that when they diet, they are losing the wrong fat. They feel famished and tired. Their faces become drawn and haggard, but their belly, hips, and thighs and upper arms show little improvement. The fat they have come to detest stays on, and the fat they need to cover their bones gets less and less. Their skin becomes wrinkled, and it makes them look older. Mhm. I just found that fascinating. I wanted to share that with you. I told you that I was going to start going through Dr. Simeon's protocol because I want to be as authentic as possible. As I was reviewing it the other day, I realized I was providing a little bit of misinformation from what I thought were extremely reliable sources on the internet of people who have hCG channels and hCG Facebook pages and hCG YouTube channels and blogs and everything out there. And I was providing some of that information because I knew that they had done, they said they had done their research from um, the direct protocol. And maybe they did, and maybe they got confused, or maybe they're kind of mixing their opinion along with it. This is a channel where I give a lot of my own opinion, and that's okay. But I want to make it very clear when I'm sharing my opinion and what is actually in the original hCG, Dr. Simeon's protocol. So there you go. This was his motivation for doing this diet. He found that the hCG hormone went to that third type of abnormal fat, and it used that first. And that's why it's a great diet for us, that you don't feel fatigued, you don't feel tired, um, you don't feel hungry, you don't feel emancipated, you don't feel drawn out, you don't feel like your skin is hanging off your body. It starts to actually go to the fat that you want to get rid of, and that is a great thing. All right, I've got a ton of errands to run today. I need to get going. You have a wonderful day. Stay on track, and I'll be in touch with you tomorrow.